What is going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I got a couple topics I want to talk to you today about, although I am going to separate them into different videos to attempt to keep them, smaller, instead of having just one long giant video that people find it painstaking to get through. So let's get right into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is apparently some of the Dolphins offensive linemen are going to be getting some on-field work. Okay, that sounds exciting, right? Get these guys some on-field work. Well, let's talk about it. The Dolphins have drafted 3 offensive linemen in the first 3 rounds over the past 2 years, and all 3 of them are scheduled to spend the week together in Arizona in a mini camp of sorts. So let's note that Arizona is one of those states that is opening themselves up for football operations, including or sports operations rather in general. Just like Texas and Florida, the states are opening up in general, way too early, but they are, right? Okay, so just keep that in mind. Rookie draft picks Austin Jackson and Robert Hunt, and 2019 third-round pick Michael Dieter, who, let's note, as a rookie was complete trash. Just being honest, he was garbage. And then these other guys, I believe, were bits of a reach, not guys that I would have taken. And, I would have taken the top 2 talents, Wirfs, Thomas. I would have taken Josh Jones over both of those guys. Anyway, they made their choices. Let's see how they work out, right? So their season is coming up, their rookie season. Let's see if they can at the very least do better than Michael Dieter did in his rookie season. Anyway, all 3 of those guys are represented by Joe Panos, who not only is a player but a former NFL offensive lineman who started 56 games during a 7-year career with the Eagles and the Bills. Panos came up with the idea of having a camp for offensive line clients to gather in North Scottsdale, Arizona for a week of on-field work. In all, 7 players will be at the camp, though the Dolphins will have the biggest representation with their 3 players. All are rookies or second-year players. Jackson, Hunt, and Dieter still will take part in the Zoom meetings with the Dolphins before they do some lifting. After the players have lunch, they'll head to the field for some drills. So like I said, that's good, right? Because it's good strictly when you think about football, right? If you leave all of the outside factors out of it for a minute, which you can't, but for a half a second, we're going to do that because from that perspective, it's great because that's part of the issue, right, that the NFL and teams will be facing for this season. And I've been saying for a while that it is doable to do the virtual off-season up into a point. Once they get to training camp and they have to actually start bringing the entire team together for drills and team activities and instilling the playbooks, etc., it's really going to become an issue. So anyway, but let's continue on. Because I do have personal issues with this, but we'll get to that at the very end. As it turns out, it will be Jackson's mother, who lives in the area, who will be making breakfast and lunch for the players. So that's just a fun little bit to it, so that's cool. Panos contacted the offensive line coaches of each of the players involved to ask for input on what they wanted to see improvement on their players. Oh, I love it, Panos told SportsIllustrated.com NFL writer Albert Breer. I absolutely love it because I know, without sounding like a jerk, they're going to get trained right. If they can't be with their coaches, I'd like to think I know what I'm doing here. I love the fact that I promised these kids and their parents that I'd take care of them to the best of my ability, that I'm going to go above and beyond and get them ready for the season. Dieter and Panos have a connection deeper than player-agent since they each played at the University of Wisconsin. So another quick note, first, if I had to choose somebody to, take over that kind of role in this situation, he sounds like a pretty good guy to me, right? He's a former player, former coach too, I think they said. Either way, right? And he was an offensive lineman, so he played the offensive line, so he knows that position, etc. So from those perspectives and just a football perspective, I like it, right? I like that they're getting on field work and getting some drills in, and I like that they're being taught from a guy who should know what the fuck that he's doing. And he talked to their coaches, and he knows what he wants. He knows what they want to see improvement in. So I like it up to that point. But then you throw in the pandemic, okay? Which, again, I mean, today I saw an alert that there's a new promising vaccine or whatever, but there have been like 6 of them to this point, and none of them have worked out yet, okay? And some of the reports I've seen, the furthest projections is that we could be 5 years still away from an actual vaccine. And this thing is just continuing to spread out of control. Hotspots around the world, including in this country, are popping up again. It's expected to get worse, way worse this upcoming winter. So anyway, point is there's a lot wrong with this situation, and it's not getting any better despite what the media, the vast majority of mainstream media, would tell you, and despite the fact that states in this country are opening up. But they are wrong, and they are having corresponding spikes in coronavirus cases, which is not at all surprising. But they are doing it nonetheless because, of course, all they care about is making sure that business goes on as normal and that their paychecks continue, and that particularly when it comes to the CEOs of these companies, like NFL included, and the owners of the NFL teams, they all want to make sure they keep raking in their money. Same thing as the politicians and these people that are opening up states. All they care about is the stock market, which saw apparently a nice rally today since the federal chair the chair of the Federal Reserve said that they're essentially just going to keep pumping money into big banks and all these corporations with these bailouts, etc., etc. I mean, it's not going to work. Sure, they can just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and for the time being, until, you know, we get to a point where millions of people die and are not working, etc., etc. Then anyway, I don't want to go on a long tangent with that. Point is, they're all the same. They're all greedy. All they give a shit about is their money, their stock portfolios, etc. And they don't care how many people's lives they put at risk. They don't care how many people die. I mean, there's also a clear example of them covering up the true numbers to help further push the idea that this thing is not as bad as it is, so they can push people out into the world and go work for them, so their stock portfolios and their big CEO paychecks continue. It's despicable and disgusting. The point is, though, and how it relates to this story is that, look, man, I hope not, but I'm concerned for these players. Because if they're going to be in states, right, if they're going to be in states and in places that are opened up, have their economies opened up, you know, and if they're going to be interacting with other people, I mean, look, I hope not, but I fear that these guys, maybe not, you know, these guys in particular, but look, it's gonna pop up somewhere at some point, and I don't want to see it happen, but I fear that it's gonna happen. I fear that we could see some of these guys get it. Even, you know, Austin Jackson's poor fucking mother could get it, because what if they get it? You know, what if one of these players, not even one of the Dolphins, what if one of the other 7 players gets it somehow because of some interaction he has with somebody in Arizona that has it, because the state's open and people are moving around, and then it gets passed to our players, and then poor Austin Jackson's mother, who's just trying to do a nice fucking thing by providing them with lunches, breakfasts and lunches, right? So when you introduce that aspect of it, it's a risk that I would not take. They are taking this risk, and so it falls squarely on them. If something happens, and worst case scenario, if people catch this thing and die, well, you know, I think they should be held accountable to the fullest extent, and, you know, there's no justification. Ignorance is not a justification. They can't say, oh, well, you know, the lying propagandist mainstream media told us, and the racist, bigoted president who's covering up the numbers for his own re-election campaign told me. Nah, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's not an excuse. You're grown fucking people and you can make decisions. Anyway, that's where I want to wrap it, because I don't want this to go on for too long. In summary, from the football aspect, I like the situation, and they desperately will need these types of things, because look, man, I mean, they have a pretty tall order to fill to improve this offensive line and give Ryan Fitzpatrick or Tua something to work with. So from that aspect, it's good. But when you introduce the other aspect, it's something that I wouldn't risk. And I certainly have major concerns with this being the case. So it's definitely, obviously, something that we're going to have to keep an eye out on. And hopefully, man, they can keep themselves safe and isolated enough to the point where they don't get this thing and stay healthy and move on. But, I mean, you know, and look, just real quick, and this is how I'll end it. I'll end it on a question. What if that does happen? And what if our first-round pick, Austin Jackson, gets it? And he's, I mean, even if he doesn't, worst case scenario, God forbid, whatever, knock on wood if you're superstitious, doesn't die, he's still going to be out for at least a couple weeks, and he could also pass it to other guys in the meantime. So just think about that. Ask yourselves that question. You know, at some point, I mean, with the way that the NFL's pushing, if they push and they get training camp open, what if our number one pick, our supposed franchise quarterback gets it at some point? And again, God forbid, man, but, you know, the myths about how it doesn't kill young people and shit like that is just not true. What if, God forbid, any of these guys die? What if our supposed franchise quarterback was to die to this virus because of the irresponsibility and negligence of these and greed of these people? Think about that. You guys need to ponder that because it's legit. It's not an unreal possibility. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I know these times are dark and tough to deal with, but I gotta be honest and I gotta be real with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy my perspective. And if you do, I know it's hard to enjoy with the darkness of it, but I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. And if you do, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. You know, share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Maybe leave a comment, question, or concern down in the comment section. Anything, interact with me. And of course, as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.